Coach, obviously Boston's done a lot good to start the season. Is there anything in particular that you want your group to focus on in this game, or maybe anything that jumps off the page to you when you're preparing for tonight, this afternoon's outing?
Yeah, they play very fast, and so there's some elements that we want to slow them down. Face-offs is an element they really get going quick off those, get into their forecheck. So just talking about lots of skate screens, like get in front of people, just slowing them down, obviously not cheating, but just making sure that our defense have time to make plays, get their eyes up, have numbers around the puck. They do a good job of putting pucks at the net, a lot of secondary chances, so that's something we focus on. Something I focused on in the league is that the goalies are very good, so a lot of the goals come from that secondary side of things. So we've put a lot of emphasis on just how strong we box out and get under sticks from defense to the forwards, everyone being around that net. So those are two areas that are really big for us tonight with Boston.
And can you expand a little bit on what you've seen from Lexia Gia? It feels like, at least on the PK that I've seen, she's played a big role on your penalty kill when she's out there. Just what can you say about the game that she's provided you so far this season?
Well, I've made mention that I didn't really look at players before coming in here. So Lexi's really earned trust, earned her opportunity. I make sure that she's our first penalty killer because she's really detailed and hard and straight and gets pucks down and brave. She's been fantastic right from day one of training camp into our exhibition games. She's really stood out as a really good, energetic player with a nice skill set to her. I think giving her a real good, clear identity has helped her. I'm not sure she had that in her role in Boston, and as a person, she's been really good. Just her energy every day, her smile, everything just kind of lights it up. You just want to get behind her because she works hard and direct line and things I talked about, direct, fast, physical. She's done all those things and really helps to our identity.
Getting back to Boston, I think before the Charge game, you described Charge as snake bit, and it seems like Boston is like the opposite of snake bit. But looking at the goals they have scored, they're not lucky goals, right? They're not crazy bounces. They are effort goals, and they are skill goals. And I was just wondering if that changes your game plan at all to go up against a team where it seems like if they get even an inch, they're gonna like take a whole mile.
Yeah, they're a well-coached team, and coming into this, the narrative was Vancouver, Seattle 1-2. This league the margins are so fine between the teams that you cannot take a shift off, a moment off. You can't take an opponent lightly. So Boston's, again, they're off to a good start. They've earned that start. And for us, we have to basically just come out with that mindset of how hard we have to play. One of the things I've talked about is I like where we're heading. Now, they're going to challenge our details. And Ottawa challenge our details, but not at this level of connection. They're well connected. Ottawa has had some struggles, and you can see it there. I think throughout that game, they got a little disappointed, and when you have a streak like they're on, it's easy, where Boston's on the other side. They feel very good, and they're leaning into that. For us, they're gonna challenge some of our system areas that we've been working on. How quickly can we get into our neutral zone and set up so we can slow them down? They play very fast, so it's gonna test like I said, our neutral zone is going to be put to the test tonight, and that's a good thing. I want to see where we're at.
And then, secondly, on special teams, I know you've Torrent had a very good PK, but Boston also has had an excellent PK. I don't think they've been scored on yet, maybe in the last game. But how do you feel now that your power play has been clicking recently? Facing that challenge of what appears to be a very strong PK.
Yeah, the strongest PKs in any sport is the goaltender, and Boston's got a very good goaltender. I think early on, our power play just didn't get enough chances to get rhythm. And the last couple games, we've had those chances to get rhythm. And again, Christine's done a really good job with them, of connecting them. She does great pre-scout of finding those areas that we can take advantage of. Tonight it'll be a challenge for sure against them. They got a good structure, good penalty kill, but I like our chances. Christine's done her homework on them. We have a plan, a game plan. Now we just got to get the opportunities to get on the ice against them and some man advantages.
Okay, I want to ask about goalies. Murphy's had some really strong starts in the last few games. Are we looking at maybe more of a 1A, 1B situation?
Oh yeah, I think so. They're both very good. And I knew Murphy was going to be very good coming in here. Megan needed a point to use a second round pick on that goaltender. And her attention to detail, her competitiveness is outstanding. So it's great when you start to have that internal pressure. And Schroed's, she's an amazing professional. She's probably first to the rink, last to leave the rink. Her preparation for her, just her body, her mind for her game is elite, and that'll help someone like Murph coming in as a new player. I think it's a great tandem, and it's nice as a coach to be able to have that. And then I also want to make mention of CJ as well. And one of the areas we talked about with Sheldon, she's really starting to make improvements in the area of one area that we just hold on to pucks. You know, in exhibition, someone hit him, came out, and she's doing a great job of working on that area. And I know if we had injuries or where we're at, I would be comfortable with CJ. So we have three amazing goaltenders here, and they all bring a little different element to us as a team, which was really, for me, is awesome.
Coach, in one of your earlier responses, you mentioned needing to start on time today against the Fleet. In the past games, you know, your first period stats have not been great. So what have you been doing as a team to get ready to start on time, or what are we going to see today that might be a little different?
I'm hoping just us playing a little bit quicker together, like these games, playing Wednesday, Sunday. I hope, like, one of the things I like in practice is to start with smaller games, so we get kind of a mindset like that. But I think our distance between games and us trying to grow as a group, we start off games kind of like, are you going that way? Am I going that way? And hopefully today we start a little bit more connected. I made mention of it in the Ottawa game in between periods. I said, hey, that was the start I thought we were going to have. Not great. We've been sitting. They were good. And we were just built. And I don't want to start slow, but I'd rather start slow and build than start fast and fade, right? So one of the things I've always kind of prided our groups that I've been around is how well we play in third periods or in back-to-backs or in 3-on-3s, things like that, because we practice hard and we take that physical and conditioning side serious, so that when we're in those big games, whether it's hard travel, like that's one of the things Boston's under right now. Tough travel schedule, early game, time zone change. So I'd love to see us start on time tonight, and then we'll take it from there.
Looking at the game notes, Coach Hannah Belka's got back-to-back multi-point games for the first time since college, which feels hard to believe. But regardless, just what have you seen from her and her performances? I know obviously young and very talented. Just what have you seen from her kind of the last few games, kind of picking things up and putting together, I think, a 3-point line last time out?
Yeah, I see her confidence growing, and I would probably connect that a little bit to USA Hockey taking on a bigger role there and feeling like, hey, I can play and play really at an elite level. I was asked this question by our media crew that'll do the game as well. Hannah's a very, very subtly skilled player. Some of the things that she does, changing speeds, her edge work, and one of the things that is probably maybe not picked up, especially for her size, she's an elite winger picking up pucks off the wall. I mean, I just read an article in The Athletic about how important picking up pucks off the wall is. Like it's an elite skill, and you can see her protect pucks where Dax can come through the dot lane with speed and knowing it's on a hit or tape. A lot of times that center comes through, is it coming? When's it coming? Pilks hits it, and that is, I mean, doesn't matter if it's on the men's or women's side, playing the wing is one of the toughest positions of getting that puck out, and she's amazing at it. And then just, I think her vision, she plays with her head up, she can see her line mates, she can see the opposition, and I think that line is just growing and growing. And once they score, I fear for it once they score, because Jesse's had some great looks, Bilks has had some great looks, and if they put in one or two of those in a game, I think it's just going to keep on rolling for them. And I 100% agree with you. I can't believe this is their first multi-point game. You know, reading the notes today, just some of our players are having really good starts, which is really positive to see. And I think some of them are taking on bigger roles than they have in the past. That helps that with Dax and Gosling, but they're answering it, right? And you don't get those opportunities unless you perform, and they're performing.